Hey, YouTube family. How are you guys doing? Hope you're all doing well. It's good to see you again. So, I bought two Amazon returned guitars. Not because I needed more guitars, but just because I'm curious as to why people are returning these specific guitars. So, I'm going to see if I can identify a specific reason why these guitars are being returned. And here they are. I have an M Musi Classic in white, apparently. We're going to unbox it in a sec. And, totally different company, I have a West Creek Revenge guitar, also in white. So first, I'm going to take the Musi out of the box, plug it in, tune it up, play it. Just like if I was customer number one, I want to see what that person felt that very day when the guitar came in. I have reviewed a bunch of different budget Telecasters, and for the most part, they all have decent bones, but most of them need to be completely reworked. From the frets, to swapping the tuners, to the nut, to the control pots, the output jack, the switch, the pickups, the bridge, the saddles. Most of those guitars, to get them gig ready, like for what I would like after 30 years of playing in bands, need to have a complete rework. Now that might not be the case for you, and I understand. But these Musis, the ones I received anyway, stock right out of the box, basic setup, plug in, take to a gig, play. Nobody would know that it's a budget guitar. They just don't know why people are returning these. Because I know they're not getting anything better for less money at their local music store. They are not. Now, maybe they just have buyer's remorse because it doesn't say Fender on the headstock or Squier on the headstock. And I guess maybe if that's your thing, if you're a brand name guy, then okay, all right, I understand. But that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with this guitar, right? That just means that you want to pay more money to get a lesser instrument. And I'm not being hurtful. Squiers don't compete with these by a long shot. And Fender, you'd have to spend, here in Canada, you'd have to spend $1,500 to get something close features that these have. So anyway, let's get right down to it. Let's see why this guy or this girl returned this guitar. Oh, and they cut this open. That's fine. Okay, so all the tools are in there. Now let's take it out. Get a visual inspection right quick. All right. So there's the headstock. No chips, dings, dents whatsoever. Beautifully crafted. Bone nut. Looks like it's pretty well cut. We'll have a look at that in a minute. These tuners are locking, and they are also staggered. So the 3 posts on the bass strings are a little taller than the 3 on the treble. These guitars do not come with a string tree. Now, that could be one reason that this customer returned this guitar. Sometimes these guitars, depending how the nut is cut, the B and the E string will actually come out of the slot because there isn't a lot of break angle there, if you can see that. See how they're pretty much straight through the nut? So you don't get a whole lot of tension. You just do not get enough of a break angle with a headstock that has 6 on the side. These have super highly polished, right from the factory, stainless steel frets. Now, doesn't mean they're level just because they're stainless steel. Maybe that's an issue. Maybe the frets aren't level. These come with 10 to 46 strings. They have in-house pickups. They are the open style for the neck. And these have kind of like a staggered, their own design on staggered pull pieces for the D and G strings to get that telly snap. They come with Wilkinson bridges with compensated brass saddles, full-size pots, 250K, a real American-style blade switch. They come with a pure tone style jack, so roasted maple neck. This one's really nice. Roasted fretboard. Forearm contour, super comfortable. Belly cut. Palm contour on the back, and also a contoured heel. It's thinner at the top, so you can really, that handshake thing is really evident on these guitars. It's great. And they balance well. So, guaranteed this person did not return this guitar to Amazon because it had a problem with the finish. This thing is gorgeous. It's perfect. There's nothing wrong with this at all. Holy smokes. They didn't return it because the neck wasn't sitting flat in the pocket, right? They didn't return it because the neck has a defect in it. So none of that stuff applies. And I'm sure they didn't return it because the guitar has comfort cuts. Like, that's one of the reasons why you'd want to buy this. Okay, so just plugged it in and tuned it. And first thing I noticed when I plugged it in is, so these are pure tone style jacks. They click twice. This one doesn't do that. It's just, watch, just the one click. So either someone swapped out this jack or the tabs are bent. I don't know, but it tuned up, so I'm guessing it's getting signal. I just turned my amp on, and I'm using my same little Vox MV50, a little 110-inch cab, and I have my small little pedal board in front, but nothing's on, just guitar. Can't hear any noise. Guitar's on. So they didn't return this guitar because of 60 cycle hum. I'm facing the speaker right now. They didn't return it because of a scratchy volume pot. They didn't return it because of a scratchy tone pot. They didn't return it because of a noisy switch. The pickups are a little low for my liking. I like my Tele pickups kind of close to the strings, but anyway, we'll just leave them. And all right, so here we go. Here's so they didn't return it because the E string's popping out of the nut. Not on this one anyway. And the B string isn't popping out of the nut either. They didn't return it because it goes out of tune, because I'm bending like this crap out of these. And they didn't return it because the bridge pickup doesn't work. So let's put it in the neck and see what happens there. Return it because the neck pickup is muddy. Let's try the middle. returned it because the action is a little high on this one. I don't know if you can see that. Now some of you might think that's not high. No, it's not. It plays well, but it's high for me. I would have it lower than that. Maybe the person who bought it likes their action super low and doesn't know how to set it. But maybe the reason the action is high is because there's too much relief in the neck. So let's check that right now. Nope. This neck is dead straight. Like the string is almost resting on those frets. It's so straight. So maybe they returned it because there wasn't enough relief in the neck and they were getting some string buzz or something. Nope. 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 My picking sucks, in case you haven't noticed. So they didn't return it because there's fret buzz or the guitar is fretting out or buzzing out. They didn't return it because the intonation's off. It might need some tweaking, but it's not off by a lot. Now maybe the person who had this set this up too. Maybe this isn't stock. I don't know. I just got it as a return, right? And maybe they weren't able to set it up like they wanted. Maybe, you know, they were struggling with it and then they just said, you know, I'm going to send this back. Maybe that's what it is. But there is absolutely nothing visually or structurally wrong with this guitar for me to understand why someone would have returned it. I just don't get it. Doesn't make sense. Add some compressor. So adding a pedal doesn't add more noise to the mix. So clearly this bridge is grounded. Some of these Muses, the earlier versions, white wasn't part of that color scheme in the earlier versions. So they didn't use to ground the bridge to the volume pot. They didn't return it because the pickups are microphonic. Right? Because you don't hear anything. So there's compressor. Here's some delay. Just turn that down a bit. Now I didn't set my amp for this guitar. It's just set to whatever. I could, you know, warm it up a little bit with the tone control or back off the tone. Get a nice warmer sound. So let's try a little bit of dirt. These strings ring out super articulate. You hear every string in the chord. And the strings that you don't hear, that's just because that's just my playing. It's not the guitar. Alright, well, they didn't return it because it sounds terrible with drive. Let's try heavier gain. Crank some gain here. Again, heavier gain and still no noise. Other than the amp, like hissing. This thing is still tuned. So I don't know if you noticed, I cranked on an extra drive pedal there for that little lead break. What are you buying out there that you think is going to be better than this? Like, what is someone who receives this in the mail, unboxes it like I did, plays it like I did, and thinks to himself, nah, I'm going to return it. There's got to be something better out there. What are you buying? Like, here in Canada, you're not buying anything that's better than this. If you're looking for a telly that you can take out of the box, set up, and take to a gig, you know, and get paid to play, you're not getting anything better than this. I'll guarantee it. Anyway, stay tuned for part 2. We're going to take this apart. I am not seeing any issues with this whatsoever. But you never know. We'll see what part 2 brings. After part 2, we'll do the exact same thing with a different brand, the West Creek. And we'll see. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Take care. God bless. And comment. Give me your opinions. See you later.